Order. The clerk will now proceed to read the orders of the day.
Item 1, the Singapore Tourism Cess Collection Amendment Bill, second reading.
Minister for Trade and Industry.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Trade and Industry, I beg to move that the bill be now read a second time. The Singapore Tourism Cess Collection Act, or Cess Act, was enacted in 1972 to allow the collection of cess from tourist establishments for the promotion of tourism. When the Cess Act was first enacted, cess was a broad-based tax imposed on sales made and charges levied or collected by tourist hotels, food establishments, and public houses. The Cess Act was amended in 2008 to make cess more targeted by linking it to specific tourism events. These refer to strategic events that entail higher staging costs using public funding and will enhance Singapore's global branding while bringing economic benefits to the country. Since then, cess has only been imposed on tourist hotels during the period of the Formula One Singapore Grand Prix. In this bill, we propose three categories of amendments. The first is to clarify the scope of cess. The second is to update the scope of the Cess Act to keep pace with business developments and industry trends. The third is to enhance existing administrative requirements. Let me start with the provisions that will clarify the requirements under the Cess Act. Our aim is to provide clarity and ensure a consistent basis of taxation for all parties that are liable to pay cess. There's no change to the underlying principle of our cess policy, which is to ensure that business groups likely to benefit commercially from a strategic tourism event play their part in defraying the costs of organizing the event. The new definition of transaction under Clause 2, as read with Clause 4, seeks to clarify what is subject to cess. For example, in the context of cess for tourist hotels during the Singapore Grand Prix, the value of the hotel room will be used to calculate cess regardless of the mode of payment. Whether the customer pays using credit card, cash, or vouchers, the hotel needs to pay cess based on the value of the hotel room. The same rationale applies to rooms which are redeemed using loyalty points under the hotel's membership program, or those offered by the hotel as part of wedding or corporate packages. The hotel will need to pay cess based on the value of the hotel room. Given the evolving business practices and variety of room packages that are offered by different hotels, this approach will ensure a consistent basis of taxation. There can be other commercial entities which benefit from a strategic tourism event but are not tourist hotels. Tourist food establishments and tourist public houses, which are taxable persons in the current Cess Act. Hence, we want to update the Act so that our laws can be applied fairly as business models continue to evolve. And we see the emergence of a greater variety of products and services that serve similar needs in the tourism landscape. Mr. Speaker, the second category of amendments thus seeks to update the scope of the Cess Act to apply to other taxable persons. The changes are proposed under clauses 2 and 4 of the bill. We are making these changes to the Act to provide flexibility to deal with future changes in business models and industry trends. There are no current plans to include new tourism events or to impose cess on new categories of tourism event establishments beyond the Singapore Grand Prix or hotels, respectively. The imposition of cess will continue to be targeted and calibrated. based on the current set of policy considerations. MTI will consult the industry and stakeholder groups if there are plans in the future to gazette new tourism events or to impose cess on new categories of tourism event establishments. We are also proposing a few amendments to enhance existing administrative requirements. Clauses 5 and 7 will enable the Chief Executive of STB and other authorized persons to obtain information from any persons for the purpose of providing views to the Minister on the cess policy and to administer or enforce the Cess Act. Under Clause 6, the records retention period will be increased from 2 to 5 years, which is aligned to the requirements under the Goods and Services Tax Act. In the process of amending the Cess Act, MTI and STB launched a public consultation exercise in March 2018 and conducted an engagement session with hoteliers. Their feedback and comments were considered and addressed during the consultation. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move.